Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Sunny is not here. Sunny needed to be with the baby, and the baby comes first. So, and I overscheduled people. There would have been 6 of us if Sunny was here. So just letting you guys know, keep baby Mateo in your prayers. Sunny is there with him. And yeah, if you don't know, my name is Kat. I am the nurse flipper. My co-host for tonight is Leroy, which Leroy has started doing Flea Market Stacker, right, Leroy, on Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, so I have his link in the description. Marshall, throw it in there for you guys as well. And then Mike up top is Deathpile Picker. Mike below me is Mike Metco. And then caddy corner over there is Alex Beard King Picker. So we will get you guys a lot of answers. I'm going to make all of the guys big, let them introduce themselves. They can kind of tell you if they specialize in anything. So if you have any questions. And yeah, so here is Mike Metco.
Okay, so this isn't going to be confusing tonight. I don't think 2 mics in the room. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Kat, for having me on again. I was on once before with my co-host, Mary. My name's Mike Camparelli, and I sell on eBay, and I also have a YouTube channel called Mike Metco Meetups, which is the only channel on the YouTubes that focuses in on meetups. We go to meetups, we report on meetups, we have live streams at meetups. We help organize meetups, and we support them. So anyone needs any information or would like to tell us something about a meetup, we'll post it on our Facebook group page or our Instagram page. And that's just Mike Metco Meetups with myself and my co-host, Mary McLean.
Perfect. Here's Alex.
Yeah, what's up? My name is Alex. I go by Beard King Picker across all social medias, YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. I specialize in selling used books and a little bit of media, CDs, tapes, and vinyl. But mostly, I'd say 90% of my store is all books. So if you guys have any book questions, put it in the chat, please. I'd love to help.
Perfect. Here's the other Mike.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mike, the Deathpile Picker. We're actually going to be promoting my reselling podcast this week, Reseller Leftovers podcast, here on YouTube. I specialize in some live selling as well as eBay. Outside of that, I'm just useless as far as any other information. But thank y'all very much, Kat, for having me on.
You are welcome. Where'd you go? There you are. Yeah. I have 2 rows of people, and normally I only have 1, so I have to like scroll through people now. All right. My good friend Elena left a super chat earlier tonight. She's headed to Tallahassee with her husband, so she's not going to be able to hang out with us tonight. She sent $1.99 and said she's going to miss everybody. She's been helping me do my inventory and has been amazing. We've been going through it. If you guys didn't hear last week, Trish unfortunately had a family emergency and had to fly back home to Massachusetts. So we're still doing the inventory with Trish. She just had to delay it a little bit. And hopefully by the end of the month, she's going to be here and do that. I'm going to give Elena her cat because Elena likes the kitty cat super chat. So even though she's not here, here's the kitty cat. Meow, 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 meow. All right, let's see what questions we got. Okay. Lena says, I received a $25 lowball offer on a signed sterling silver brooch for $200. I saw they sell jewelry and have 5,000 jewelry past sales. Do you think, why? Oh, it's not show. Let me figure this out. Nope, it still doesn't. It cut off her super chat. Hold on, I got to figure this out. Will this, aha! Look at me go. Okay. Yeah, nice. She said, do you think they were making a statement, or do you think that they thought maybe she would accept? What do you think was going through that seller's head?
Ooh, I'm up first, right?
Oh, Leroy, I forgot to make Leroy big. Man. I'll make him big after we get.
It's my turn. We'll do it.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that obviously that's a low ball offer. I mean, especially considering the potential buyer was a seller also. You know, people just take a shot. You know, I mean, you could always say no, and there's no, no harm, no foul. That's how I feel. I mean, people get bent out of shape when a low ball offer is given. I look at it as engagement. I look at it as an activity. I'll obviously decline politely, but anyone who makes a chance to do a low ball offer, if they do it 100 times and they catch someone off guard or someone who's willing to do it, well, good for them. They made the sale, But obviously, the person offering that $20 knew that it was a low ball offer, no doubt about that.
Yeah, $25. I think they're trying to source it from you and flip it back online. If they sell jewelry, that's exactly what they're doing. I would just counter the offer though, at least 100. Depends on how much money you have tied up into the piece and how long it's been listed for. If you just want to move it, then move it. Take the offer or move along. If you only have $1 into it.
I have exercised two different options in these. Sometimes I'll treat it the same way that Alex does. I'll counter, or I will. It's not going to be a 50% off. Like I usually won't go anywhere. I'm never missing the market by more than 30%. That would dictate maximum discount. But with this one, I would probably lean more towards just deleting the message, deleting the offer, and moving on with my day.
I'm going to give my answer first because I'll forget. I take it as a total insult. A total insult. I take it as an insult. I get upset. I send them a message back that says LOL, and I keep it moving.
I'm going to answer and then I'll make Leroy big. Otherwise, I might forget. Yeah, Dusty, they will not let you counter it more than your asking price.
Yeah,
I've tried. So for me, I think they send it because I think some people accept them. I don't think they would be sending them if people didn't accept them. So I think they get like unsuspecting people or people who are just, either just starting or just trying to sell stuff so they don't care. For me, I will go down to 60% off if I've had an item over a year. But with the value of sterling increasing, I do not do that with my sterling pieces unless they're really, really lightweight. So for me, it depends on my mood. 90% of the time, I'm just declining. I'm not getting mad either way. But I will sometimes counter at a penny less than my asking just to get my point across. Cause I feel like they made a point with their low ball offer. So I would counter at $199.99 if I was having a day. But most times I'll just decline it. But I don't think that they would send them if people aren't accepting them. Me personally, like 25%, maybe 30 would be the lowest I would send, but I don't source on eBay. I have before, but it's not been through lowball offers. It's been through somebody pricing something way too low. And I just happen to come across it. A lot of times I come across them researching items that I got myself. And I see like a ton of them listed at say $200, and then one person has them at $25, and I'll buy it and take it off the market, and because I know I'm going to make a profit on it. But most of the time, I'm buying for myself. But I don't feel comfortable sending more than 25, 30% at the most. And that's if I feel they have it priced high. Like most times if it's priced fairly, I just buy stuff. I don't even send an offer. All right. We are now going to make Leroy big since I forgot, and let him introduce himself. Sorry, Leroy.
What's going on, guys? First of all, my prayers are well for Sonny, and It's a pleasure to be here in sunny spot, to be honest. I am Leroy Blood. I sell on eBay and I also sell at flea markets. Never really pushed it as much because it's just a local thing. But people like Kevin and a lot of those guys have always told me, and I listen, but I just put it in the back burner. And I opened up a Facebook account for the Flea Market Stacker, which just talks about flea markets and my setup and stuff like that. And it's getting received pretty well. And I think it's cool because I've been doing flea markets since I was 19. So if you want to learn about flea markets, my style is a little different than most people, but it's pretty cool. So I got a lot of knowledge.
Perfect. All right. Udalali says, if you had to write a mystery novel based on the weirdest house you've ever entered for an estate sale, what would the title be and why was it the weirdest?
Good question. Let's see. What comes to mind initially is this estate sale that we all went to when we were picking together at the Plains of Profit last year in Omaha. And I would entitle it Hoarder's House Paradise. This place was crazy. I mean, we had all, you pair up together and you go and you check out the different estate sales. And this was so rich that there was stuff all over the place. I mean, you couldn't even walk around. Every time you turned around, there was another box that you could encounter and look at. And in fact, John Resale Rabbit had asked the owners of the house if we could go back the next day, the Monday after the meetup, and bring a couple of his friends. And about 20 of us all went there that next day. And boy, the pickings were great. It was a little precarious, a little dangerous, because everywhere you walked, there was either old hoarded merchandise or a hole where merchandise used to be. So it's kind of a little precarious, but we all did pretty well that meetup. It was pretty good.
So I can't read or write. That's why I just stick to selling books. But if I were to attempt to write a mystery novel, it would be about a private clean out that I did where I went up in the attic. I would call it Bugs and Hornets, probably, because there was hornets nests on all these books in the attic. And I went to go pick the books and hornets kept flying at me. And so I decided to leave as fast as I could. But lots of bugs, lots of dirty, nasty books. That's it, Mike. I don't got anything else.
Okay. I'm waiting for you to sign off there, buddy. For me, it would probably be like Inhaling the Dead. This is just, it happens to be an estate sale where Dave and I went to on Flea across Florida, where he kind of pulled the tin off of an old, kind of like the cans that go on fumigators. We don't know if it was, obviously it's not toxic. He survived, but it was almost like he was breathing in their grandma, like some ashes just came out. But this house had holes in the roof. Cast iron was rusted. There was rat feces. There you go. Look at me go. Feces in drawers with the rat nest. We were pulling stuff out of different areas. It was great. We get it all outside in a pile, and none of it was for sale. And basically, she told us what we did wrong, why we were wrong on all of this stuff that's in plain view. And then we had to go put it all back. But they breathing the dead person. That's it.
Mine would be he said no and laughed at us. I was up in Virginia, Kevin's area with Reseller Information Network, and it was me and the boys, and we went into a house, and the guy started laughing at us. He wanted us to buy his son's sports stuff that he had in the sports store that was all overpriced and moldy, and he had like gems in his basement. He had like Walt Disney jean jackets with like what's her name there? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, like patches from 1980s, and he was giving us that stuff for free but he wanted us to pay $30 a hat for stuff that was worth $10. He ended up giving us a whole bunch of stuff for free, and we never bought any of the other stuff. And then the next year we went back and he had passed away, but he laughed at us. He was like no, and he laughed at us, and then he gave us a whole bunch of stuff. So that was cool.
Yeah, I don't know that I've been to any really weird ones. I went to one that was like wall-to-wall Disney stuff. And when I say that, I mean it, like floor-to-ceiling Disney stuff. And I was talking to the kids who were running it, and they said the mom worked at the Disney store and she didn't have to work. So she spent her entire paycheck for 30 years on Disney stuff. Like her husband paid all the bills. She didn't need the money. So every penny that she ever made went to this stuff. And it was like, it was just so much stuff. And I got a little bit, but they were priced kind of high, and they had like old, and it was cool, but old sign, like she brought home signs she was Disney, obsessed. And I know people that are like big Disney fans, but this was like at like every room of a 2,500 square foot house from floor to ceiling was nothing but Disney. Like, I think we counted, there were over 1,000 Disney Beanie Baby. Like, it was crazy. It was just, so it was more crazy than weird. All right, we got a couple of super chats. First one, I think, is Todd, Silver Hair Stacker, sent $2. Said, look at all the pretty faces. What are we gonna give you? I'm not gonna give you Kevin tonight. I'm gonna give you the whale. I normally give him Kevin, but I'm gonna give him the whale. Listen, there's a funny story to this. So Scott Cha-Ching King sent $10 and said, why are there so many people? And below that, he said, this is not symmetrical. So Scott knows that I am OCD and I like everything being symmetrical. So that's why I said I should have just let Marsha come on and then I'd have 6 people. So if Sunny was here, we would have 6 people. I accidentally booked 4 people for the same day is what I did.
Person?
I forgot to write down Mike and Alex. But here's an even funnier story. Poor other Mike, I didn't write him down at all, but he forgot me too. The last time he was supposed to come on, which was last month, I think. And he messaged me after the show started and said, hey, wasn't I supposed to be on your show? And I'm like, oh, crap. So apparently I'm messing up a lot. I messaged Golden State Picker Mike. There are too many Mikes. And I'm like, hey, you're scheduled for my show. I'm like, but I don't see any chat about it. So I wrote down Golden State instead of Deathpile, messaged him. He probably thought I lost my mind telling him he was booked and he wasn't booked. And then that Mike got left out. So yeah, so he's just been part of my scheduling ridiculousness the last 2. But Scott was on. And I think we had 6 though. We had it like the Brady Bunch when Scott was on, when I was up in the mountains for my birthday, because I think it was when Julian was co-host. He couldn't be there. And I asked 2 people to fill in for co-host and they both said yes. And I'm like, whatever, let's do it. And that was the only other time that I've had more than 4 people because I like it. I like it being symmetrical. So that's why Scott's giving. I should give him Kevin for that, but I'm not. I'm going to give him my Oct. Here you go. This is a fun question. How much a month do you spend buying inventory?
Well, good question. Well, it varies. I mean, this month I'm spending nothing. I'm just depending on my death pile. There's no yard sales. And depending on what's going on, I mean, I don't really go out with a budget. You know, I mean, I could spend $400 or $500 in a day if there's an opportunity to buy something. And then I may go out all day for a bunch of yard sales and spend, $10 to $20. So it's really a subjective question. I mean, it really varies according to the circumstances and what's going on. And a lot of times I have like a kind of a unique business model where I spend nothing for a lot of my merchandise. I have 3 or 4 friends, former associates in the business. I used to be an electrician and an installer of audio, video equipment, electronic equipment. And I'm retired now, but they're still in the business. So they stop by on a frequent basis and just drop merchandise off to me for free, and then we kind of split it up. So they supply the goods that they get out of people's houses that they're doing reinstallations, and the people, oh, there we go. And the people say, look, could you just take the stuff, cart it away and throw it out for me? So, yeah, sure they do. And they drop it off in my house. And their responsibility is just to give me the merchandise. And then my responsibility is to list it, pack it. And then at the end of the month or the next time they come, we split up the net proceeds, 50-50. So that's a good arrangement. So I have a nice endless supply of merchandise that comes to me. And that's really good. That's a good part of my stock, so I don't have to buy any of that stuff.
Yeah, I would agree with Mike said because it varies month to month. I mean, the last 3 months I've spent $0. I work with estate companies and do free cleanouts. So after estate sells, I come in and take all the media and books, and I have those deals worked out with some estate sale companies here in Nashville. So for the most part, I get a majority of my stuff for free. But if I'm just bored, I'll go to the thrift store and, buy a book here and there. But if I were to really put a budget on it, the last 6 months, probably less than $100. Most of all my stuff's free.
Holy cow. Yeah. The variance is obviously there. For me, I haven't really sourced in garage sales, and we have garage sales out and about. But I think I've spent maybe $100 in the last 2 or 3 months. I've been really digging into my death pile here, but during the summer, it could be anywhere between, I'll take out on average 300 a weekend, and then sometimes it'll be more than that. But that's usually my goal, 300 a weekend.
The last and the first of the month, I pay my rent for my warehouse, so I don't really spend much that week or that 10 days. I sort of do, and then I spend probably about $350 a month.
I'm gonna sound absolutely insane right now.
We know this.
Minimum 5,000. On a good month, 15,000. Like this month, we're at 30,000 in sales. If I have a local auction, I cannot get away without like 4,000 to 5,000. If I look, I skipped it this month. I behaved. So this month it'll probably be about 5,000. Some months it's less and sometimes it's more, but I have been really focusing on higher dollar stuff. Like my inventory is close to $500,000. And so I'm paying up for the higher dollar stuff. And I haven't been thrifting in forever. Thrifting, like when I went thrifting, if I just said thrifting, I would probably have only spent like $400 a month thrifting. But I'm buying from the online estate sales and buying sterling and jewelry, and I've been buying more license plates because we almost ran out of license plates doing them on Whatnot. So now I'm buying them for Whatnot, not to put on eBay. But the nice thing about like the Whatnot stuff, like I think I've done 15,000 on Whatnot this month, is that it's a fast flip. So like I can pick it up, and if I do shows for what I got, my money's back in a week. Which is nice. So yeah, so I spend a lot. I need to try and behave and not. I was actually talking with Paul from my reseller Jeannie today, and I'm like, I need to, because I have a death pile. And I might, like, if I need jewelry for more jewelry, Whatnot, that's okay. But the problem is if I look at these auctions and I see this stuff and I see a $200 profit, I cannot not, like, I mean, I can obviously, but I have a problem not bidding and letting a $200 profit go out the window. So I either not look or yeah. What
are your margins? What are your margins? 200.
most of my stuff I'm buying at 10 to 20% of what it sells for. Whatnot, like Whatnot. So I just sold 1,500 salt and pepper shakers on Whatnot. The average was $8 a pair they sold for on Whatnot. I've gotten rid of 1,500 in 6 weeks and on Whatnot, and I paid $1 to $2 a pair. So I quadrupled my money. And that's for Whatnot. I like to triple for Whatnot. So I'm doing $3 starts. I'll start at $1, but most of my shows don't end with less than a $5 average. And I have had some jewelry shows end at 12 to 14 average. And that stuff I'm paying $1 to $2 a piece for. So I haven't been doing sterling. I started losing money on Whatnot doing sterling because I wasn't starting it high enough. And now with the cost of it going up, I only buy I'll throw little pieces in lots onto Whatnot, but I don't buy sterling for Whatnot anymore like I used to, just because the margins weren't there. So yeah, I do $3 starts on everything, and I try to be $1 or less in. And the thing with my Whatnot is most of my lots I buy because they have one or two higher dollar. So they have like $100, $150, $200 item in the lot. I'll pull it for eBay. It'll pay for the whole lot, and then I sell the rest on Whatnot. That has been what I've been doing. And the nice thing is there's stuff worth 30 and 40 bucks. So, people are getting a good deal on it, and I'm moving it and getting my money back fast without waiting for the higher dollar item to sell. I've already got my money back from Whatnot.
Right.
So it works. You got, like, when I did $250,000 and 22 and 23 on Whatnot, and I spent about 100 one year and 150 the other. So, I mean, I still made 100 grand, but I spent a lot to make it and put a lot of time in. So, like, that's not something I don't pay up like that anymore for Whatnot.
Well, you also got to look at it as like you're not putting in 40 hours a week doing it. So if you're making 100 grand, I mean, talk just the Whatnot portion of it.
I was doing it 5 and 6 days a week. So I might have been. Right now I'm doing six days a week of shows. I just don't do them on Tuesdays. And like the salt and pepper shows are 5-hour shows. So, but I mean, I'm making well over 1,000. On Whatnot, I pretty much almost always make 200 in sales an hour, no matter what I'm selling. Even with the license plates, we did 200 in an hour. But I'm sad I'm out of the salt and peppers because those did really, really good. And of course, it depends. Like one show averaged 5 and another averaged 11. It depends on, how good the salt and pepper shakers are in there.
Yeah, LaDonna's right. Shakers are pretty easy to ship.
Not when you're shipping 150 pairs.
Well, no. Not that.
My employee, she came out. She literally spent like 6 hours shipping them. And I was doing inventory, and she came out and she's like, I hate salt and pepper shakers. I'm like, I'm sure you do. But now I've got somebody part-time that's helping with them. But yeah, we're on the last. Wednesday's the last, and I'm out of them. But yeah, so like the single shakers were easy, but we had a lot of people that bought like 10, 15, 20 pairs of shakers that you have to wrap and put in one box, and they're all breakable. So that is where it didn't get to be fun. Yeah.
Well, you didn't buy them all from one place. Did you buy
I did.
A collection?
No, they were all from one estate.
Okay.
I bought 500 the first time, and I didn't win all of the lots that first time. And it's the auction I told you I spend $5,000 at every time. But I bought 500 pairs the first time with the intent of Whatnot. I pulled like 5 pairs worth over 50 bucks, which would pay for all of them by itself. And then the next month they did single shakers, and I didn't bid on those. I was like, no, I don't. And I honestly should have, because some of the single shakers I got sold well, but I refrained and didn't buy them the next month. And then the third month I won every single lot. which was over 1,000 pairs. But that's because I knew how well that first 500 did. Like, I knew I had the audience and whatnot. I knew, like, I had a $10 average, and yeah, so I knew that I knew I was good to go. I didn't pay more than $2 a pair, and the lowest show was 5 something a pair. So I mean, double my money on the worst of the salt and pepper shows. And like I said, it's in a day. You know, you get it and you put it, you know, and then it's gone, is the nice thing about Whatnot. So you make less, but you make it fast. Craft Shack. Is it okay to start out slow, not joining all the platforms at once?
Yeah, I think that's the way to go, actually. Not only is it okay, it's probably preferred. I mean, you know, if coming into this this world not knowing anything about reselling, there's a lot to consider, you know. And rather than just running around like a chicken without a head and trying to, you know, join 4 or 5 different platforms, I think it's advisable to just start off slow, learn a little bit. What I did was I came in 6 years ago not knowing anything. So I started selling on eBay very slowly, methodically, and I started watching a lot of YouTube videos so that I could learn. And that was really good for me in that, you know, like I said, I knew nothing. And by watching various different content creators and learning little by little, I was able to build a nice foundation, a nice base to the point where I have a nice solid eBay business now. I mean, I still continually watch, you know, content providers and all of their different shows to learn a little bit. I'm not learning as much now as I did 6 years ago, but there's always something to learn. So I think it's smart to start off little by little, learn something, try a new skill, and then move on. And then, you know, if you feel you want to expand after you've reached a nice little understanding with one particular platform, it's a lot easier to branch out into another area after you've mastered the first one.
Yeah, I agree 100% with Mike. I think you should learn one platform. I would pick eBay and really learn that platform before you add another platform on. It's easy to get overwhelmed. And especially when you get into the whole cross promoting, and then you got to remember to delist if you're not paying for a program. And when you're first starting into reselling, you don't want all your money tied up in programs. I would try not to jump into all that and cross promoting. Stick to one platform at a time, really learn it. And if you enjoy that and it's going well, then slowly move in, add another platform into that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with them. Tim over the years has stated that the more eyes you have on a product, the better it is. So get out there, sign up for everything and list them. That's what Tim would do. But Tim's crazy. Don't listen to him. I really agree with Alex and Mike. Like, yeah, get to know your platform well. That's what Ping had said in response. I really haven't progressed to any other platform because I don't know eBay to the depths that some of the people in the chat know. So feel free to use that community. We're all there to help somebody. Don't use Facebook. They're real mean over there. No, don't talk to those people in the reseller groups, but just use this group right here. Kat's done fabulous with the viewers that are willing to help.
I don't like you picking on Tim. Tim is the craziest guy I know. He had his first kid almost in his 40s. So no offense to anybody having kids in their 40s, but for me, I say take it slow. I've been taking. I don't know if this is because I am slow and I'm not picking on other people. I'm picking on myself. I've been on eBay for 20 years and I'm still figuring it out. So you know, but I don't like other platforms. I did this year. I started not cross listing, but I'll list a few things on Facebook locally. I'm like, why am I not listing some of the stuff on Facebook? If Facebook can make me $100 a week, that's $400 a month. So I have been trying to get about 100 things listed on Facebook. I only got about 30 right now. But I do feel that you should you should go slow and go at your own pace. If Mike does a video on 18 platforms, that's Mike's video. Do what's comfortable for you and your family and whatever your storage and money is. There's a lot of things around this business that makes you who you are. If you don't have a lot of storage, then there's a big roadblock there. If you don't have a lot of money, there's a roadblock there, and you just do the best you can with whatever you have in that surrounding.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with everybody else. I always tell everybody you should learn one platform first. And I agree that it should be eBay. And I know I saw the comment saying I had a few years of Etsy experience. As an everything seller, eBay is 90% of my sales. And all of those listings are on all of those platforms. And they're still, eBay is outperforming, 9-1. But I feel like eBay is the hardest to learn. And somebody said you can never learn it because they're always changing, which is very true. But for me, I would do eBay. That's where the majority of my sales come from. And I think that's the hardest to learn as well. So I think if you can master eBay or feel comfortable at eBay and then go to the other, like Posh and Mercari are super simple. Etsy's a little bit harder. So I would say in order, depending on what you're selling, but I sell everything on Posh and Mercari that I do on eBay. I would do eBay, then Posh, then Mercari, and then I would go to Etsy, unless you're really, really specializing in vintage. Marcia said she thinks Etsy is easy. Etsy just wants more information. I feel like they want to know the years that it was done. They want to know material. It doesn't seem to perform as well if you're not keywording and hashtagging, which List Perfectly AI lister makes them for me. So I think that's why my sales have went up on Etsy, because I didn't used to do the hashtags and stuff. And she said she did custom made on Etsy for years. So if you're familiar with Etsy, Etsy would be a natural place to start, and then maybe add eBay in second if you already know Etsy. And yeah. See, I agree that Etsy is easier than eBay. That's why I said I would learn the hardest first, because then the other ones are going to seem easy. I think eBay is probably the biggest learning curve next to Amazon, which I quit years ago. Yeah. But I would learn eBay first.
As far as difficulty goes, Amazon surpasses eBay on difficult and things
for sure.
You have to learn. Yeah.
I did books on Amazon probably 5 years ago. That was my main thing, was doing books on Amazon. And man, books are heavy. When you send in books, like boxes of books, it's heavy.
Yeah. That's why I'm so yoked though.
From books. When you travel to go sourcing for items, whether it's a flea market or a special event, can you write off everything, like your hotel, your car, your food, etc.?
Pretty much. That's the way it works. And again, we always say I'm not an accountant, so refer to your professional, your business professional. But for the most part, it is a tax deduction to pay for hotels and various different activities and expenses when you're out there, because that's what really fuels your business. And also you can deduct various portions of your expenses at home towards your businesses as well. I mean, you take a percentage of your house and you could amortize rent and utilities and all, and use that as expenses. But again, check with your accountant, check with your bookkeeper. They know better than I do. I don't want to give any incorrect advice there.
Yeah, I think you can write everything off, but like Mike said, I'm not an accountant and I don't play one on the internet, so I don't want to really give answers because I'm not sure. I just know I probably never did because my last CPA sucked. So getting a new one.
So I'm married to an accountant, and not the kind that I can use for this stuff. Now, mind you, she handles our taxes like clockwork every year. But hotel, yes. Vehicle, no. Food, partial. You're going to eat food at home. I think that's why the IRS only allows you to deduct a certain percentage of that. As far as the additional expense, the car, I say, because you shouldn't be doing anything related to the car that's any different than your year long. You're going to be deducting mileage. You're going to have the government rate per mile that's currently active, in which case you can't do anything like oil changes, any of the repairs, any tires, stuff like that. That's all part of the mileage. That money per mile is calculated or calculating in the wear and tear of your vehicle. But like they say, you can double check any of that I've stated. But at minimum, you should be doing the hotel, any parking fees, and then ensuring that you have your mileage. There are plenty of times where I travel doing a lot of highway sales. And in the years where I haven't been selling as much because of us moving, like the last 2 years, I have actually made money just on that. And I had to reduce my mileage. That way I didn't ask your CPA, not Deathpile Picker. Shut up.
Can you write off a speeding ticket on the way to a meetup asking for a friend?
Oh, there you go. Ask your CPA. That's what my wife said.
Don't listen to anything I say, but just don't be greedy. You can't. There is and don't be greedy, but also find out what you can't. Like, there's so much that people don't realize that they can write off. Like, if you get an accountant and you're not sure, and you seem like they don't know, what you're doing for a living, like get a second opinion, get another accountant. I know a lot of these guys. I'm very close friends with them, and some of them have, had bad, bad accountants, and oh, you can't write this, you can't write that, and you go to another one and you can. So, like, ask questions, like, listen to these guys and see what they say, write it down, and then when you go to find a new one or ask yours and see. Some of them are just lazy and they don't want to do all the legwork. I'm not an accountant, but you do got to be careful with them.
I will say, sorry, Kat. She did clarify you have to rent a truck. So if you're at a special event or something like that, absolutely, you can write off a rental vehicle.
So if you missed last week's show, we had my reseller Jeannie on, Paul and Faith. Paul is an accountant, and he did a presentation right in the middle of the show. I started about 9 on reseller deductions. So if you missed last week's show, if you don't want to go through the whole thing, if you fast forward to like the hour point, Paul did a presentation on reseller deductions. That was good to know. For me, like, if I go to the flea market here, or if it's just a day trip, to my knowledge, like I claim my vehicle, I don't claim mileage. So I cannot claim anything for that except for what I spend sourcing if it's a day trip. Because I do gas and car payments. I don't do mileage. So I could do that. But if I'm going out of town, like next weekend, we're going to Mount Dora specifically to go to the antique fair. On that, all of my food, but my accountants told Rip that the food is not tax deductible. So like if I'm going to thrift stores an hour, now if I stop to get lunch and I go meet Leroy for lunch and we talk about reselling, then I could write it off. But if it's just me, I cannot. But if I go to a business lunch and talk with somebody about it, I can. But like I did hotel that is on it. My car, if I were to rent a car, I would rent it and I would write it off, but I'm taking my own. So we'll just put the gas and call that. Yes, Leroy. And then all of our food the whole weekend will
I'm not at the level that a lot of you guys, not saying a lot of you guys, but I'm not at the level like Kat, and I'm just gonna throw a name out there, Kevin. I know some guys that some of you guys, like, you'll literally take a video there and just put it in a way so it does count as a receipt, in a sense that you went out to eat, you spoke about this, or you talked to, like, you got a hotel or whatever. And a lot of people I know, like, they'll literally put it on video, and it's almost.
But I mean, if you go to record a video and you're getting paid from YouTube, that is a business. Like for me, if I go to the reseller rally in Cincinnati, that's all tax deductible because that's for YouTube and reselling. So everything from the moment I leave until the moment I come back. But if it's just a day trip, that's where I guess it's kind of questionable, at least as far as food. But yeah, so anything else though, and I don't like the big thing with like a vacation is, did you take that vacation to go buy inventory, or are you buying inventory while you're on vacation? Those are two different things. And like I've taken a lot of sourcing trips. Like I went to Birmingham, Alabama just to source. That was the only reason I went. And so that, like most of my vacations, honestly, that's what it is. Like when we went to Vegas, that was for, boss, and we were sourcing, and yeah, are we having fun and going out with people? Yeah, but honestly, it was people that were doing YouTube too, and that was networking and business as well. So for me, I rarely do a vacation that's not somehow business related. Just because this is kind of on the same thing, I want to put it up. Am I going to stay with cash inventory after I do the full inventory? I'm doing 100% yes.
Thank goodness.
No question about it. I'm not switching over. If you switch to full, I would have to repeatedly do that inventory, and I'm not going to do that. Once I do it once, we will get it straight, and I might like do spot checks, but money in, money out, because you can only change it once. And I do not want to be committed to have to take inventory. Absolutely not. And I don't even know, I don't think we're going to be able to get it done in a week or 2 weeks. I think it's going to be probably months-long process to get the inventory done. No, money in, money out for me. There's no way. And all of that $500,000 worth of inventory I have has already been accounted for because I already spent the money on it. So it would probably be a hot mess to switch it off. Oh yeah, you can go to the beach. Like if you're going somewhere to source, but you want to go to the beach while you're there, that's fine. But the primary reason for that trip needs to be business. Like for us that are making YouTube content, we can be making videos and sourcing, or doing one or the other. And it counts. But if you go to dinner, do whatever, that, as long as the primary purpose is business. Miss Linda said, if you only had 15 minutes to spare at a thrift store, what section would you go to? I almost always go to the books first.
Well, if I had a limited amount of time and I couldn't really spend the time to really delve in and research, then I would go with my strengths. I sell a lot of electronics and hardware items, and also I'd probably go to that area rather than going to housewares where I'm not that familiar with it. And I was just focusing on what I can do to make a pretty accurate assessment of the value of things without having to like pull the phone out and check different comps and so on. You go with what you know. If you have more time, if you have the luxury of spending a lot of time at a flea market or garage sale or thrift store or whatever, and you wanted to learn a couple of new niches or whatever, pull the phone out and learn a little bit, that's fine. But when you're under the gun, I would go with what I initially know, so it'll be a little easier to to get the most out of my time.
I would go directly to where the money's at, and that is coffee mugs and collectible plates. No, it would be books and media for sure.
For me, I would hit up bag toy section first, just to dig through that, and then I go to the rest of the hard goods. So hard goods, electronics, home decor, that kind of stuff. I can get through stuff quick.
I'm always going to be negative. I'll go to the restroom because I'm over 50, and then I'd leave.
Leroy.
I don't like that.
You're gonna tell them for real.
I don't like thrift shops. I promise you.
That's for real.
I promise you. I've in the last 5 years, I'm lucky if I spent $80 in a thrift shop. I don't like thrift shops. I don't go. I could go to 15 thrift shops in my area. Plentiful. I can go to Bins. I can go to. It's not for me.
Yeah, I would go to the linens if I had 15 minutes. That's where I would go. It would also depend on what thrift store, because most of mine that I go to regular, I know like what section has the best stuff at that store. But most of mine, it linens would be linens and like bedding, the pillows and stuff like that. All right, Cindy says she got approved for Whatnot, but she only wants to do static buy it now sales. They won't let me. See, I heard this and then somebody said, no, that's not true. So I'm wondering if people that joined years ago are grandfathered into being able to do static without live. But if you're a new member, I bet that's what the case is. I just wanted to interject that, because a few weeks ago we said this and somebody said, no, I've never done a live and I list static. But I bet people are grandfathered in. So she's asking, is there a way around it?
I personally don't sell on Whatnot, so I'm not really familiar with it. So I'm going to pass on this question.
I think, Kat, you might be right that you're grandfathered in, because I haven't done a Whatnot show in a long time, but I can static, put listings on there. No problem. So I don't know if that's a new thing that they started with new sellers. Not sure.
I'm the same way. I haven't done Whatnot in probably 2 years. So obviously I don't even do a static list. But as far as work, how would you work your way around it? Go live. Go live. Add some items.
Doesn't say you have to sell anything.
Yeah, just don't say. Introduce yourself. Add some stuff in there. Let some people know, hey, this is what I have. This is the kind of stuff. Show them around a little bit, and then shut it down and say, if you got any questions, message me. See how that goes.
I like Mike's answer. I don't do Whatnot, but one day this year, you never know. It is in the back burner. I am thinking about it. I'm starting to realize that a lot of people on Whatnot are not as smart as me anyway. I think I'm not a smart guy, but yeah, so I'm not too sure on that question.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you just have to do one show. It doesn't say you have to sell anything. And Vintage Vibes said you only have to do one live show. Do one live. If you do have to sell something, put something up for $1, run it and stop. You might like it. You never know. You might end up liking it and want to do live. But I would just do the one. I bet we're grandfathered in if we joined a while ago. I wanted to put this up here because LJ said I only do static sales on Whatnot and I've never had to do a live sale. So this is what I was talking about a few weeks ago. But I bet he joined before that rule was put in place. And yeah, so now if you're a new, it looks like if you're a new member, you do have to, but you only have to do one. Mary wants to know, what thermal printers do you like best?
I have a Canon inkjet printer, and I just use the labels I just install. And I have I think I have a Jaden. I got something at a garage sale.
Leroy, stop recording this.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it. I have one that's a backup, which I haven't used yet, but I'm very happy with my Canon and just the standard thermal labels, and I put one in at a time, and I'm good to go.
So there, you put 4x6s in there, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Sticky ones.
Yeah, I got these
in an inkjet printer.
Yeah,
Mike.
Yeah, that's two on a page.
That's what I did before thermal too. Was to do a page.
Keyword before thermal. Mike is the richest person we know, buddy.
I'm a creature of habit, Mike. This is how I always printed. All my printing,
He likes to spend money on ink.
Old dog, new tricks. You know what I mean? I have to learn something. Right? Like I said, I got this other printer. I got this other printer, and it's just been sitting here. Let me see if I can pull it out. All right, I got a thermal one. Let's see it. Well, I think I'm going to break my computer if I show it to you. But
Yeah,
anyway,
don't fall over.
Yeah.
What do you got, Alex?
I make my wife handwrite all the labels just for fun, even though we have a Rollo, but we never plugged it in, so she just handwrites it. But no, Rollo printer works great. I've had it forever, no problems with it at all.
Yeah, I agree. I have a Rollo as well. Everybody says we don't discuss this kind of stuff. I think the brand is less important. Any of them are going to last the time that equals the value in which it costs you. So basically any of them will pay for themselves. I would suggest anybody, if you're serious about doing this, get a thermal printer. It's going to change your life. And just read your reviews. There's good ones. There's plenty of good ones out there that cost a lot or cost a little, and they'll do the trick.
I have a dinosaur zebra. I think it's the 650 or the 750. It's a bulky son of a gun, but she's a beast. It's a beast. I've had it for 10 years, and you could drop it off a mountain, and it's still gonna work. When the labels stick back over on it, I just get paint thinner and I wipe off the strip, and she's good to go. Thermal print is totally the way to go. Mine is just the older one. It takes up double spaces. Kat's little Ziploc bag thermal printers, but I like mine.
So I want to say Jaden's. I was Team Dymo forever. Jaden's actually reached out to me for an affiliate, sent me one free, and I liked it better than the Dymo because it was Bluetooth. And I sold my Dymo for $200, and I've been using Jaden's ever since. And look, I even have a backup pink Jaden's, sitting by my desk because we had a thermal go out on us one time, didn't have another one. And I was like, that is not happening again. So I have a backup Jaden. I have a coupon for 15% off, and I think they have a $70 one. They're cheap compared to Dymo and Rollo, like way cheaper. And I have to show you guys, look, I just got this yesterday. This is my new toy. Do you see this little thing? So I'm gonna look on my phone, to-do list, and I can hit print. Look, I love this thing. Print. Oh, I didn't turn it on. Step one, hold on. I'm so in love with this thing. Okay, connect. Look, it's a little tiny thermal. So
I use it. Hey, Kat, I have one that I use for the flea market for all my bins. I love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we look, our jewelry.
Yep.
Look, I put jewelry large 001. And then all we have to change is the last. And this was $20. $20 with 3 rolls of tape and a thermal printer. For inventory, that's it. And I can post that one, but it's $20.
Yep.
And we were writing with Sharpie on everything, and I'm like, I got this one, the little, and it's rechargeable, and I'll go get the link and I'll post it in the chat. And so today Prissy labeled all of our jewelry with the thermal, and my shelves, same thing. I went and made that. We can carry that around. We can label stuff. And yeah, I'm super, I've thought about it might even work for Whatnot, to label the bags on Whatnot for who's it, because it's fast and it prints, and yeah, it's gorgeous. I'll get the link. And of course I had to get the green. Me and green or pink. I can't get black or white. I have to have fun colors. I'm going to get you guys the link though.
Can you delete my wife's question? I don't want us to get to that.
What'd she ask?
Right there. How do you stay motivated to list daily and do naps?
No, we're going to answer her question.
That's so dumb.
He doesn't want to answer because he doesn't list daily.
The answer is yes. Naps count.
She's calling you out. That's what she's doing.
Yeah.
I want to naps count as workflow. Okay.
Oh, Amy. Oh gosh, I don't know which video. Amy's asking, how do you turn on offers for Etsy? I actually had to have my members walked me through turning offers on Etsy because I couldn't find it either. I'm going to tell you really, really quick. I'm opening it. So if you go to your shop manager, you go to marketing, sales and discounts, and then you scroll down to the bottom and it says, wait, oh yeah, you scroll down and it says drive traffic and move inventory under sales and discounts, and that's where you turn on offers. So shop manager, marketing, sales and discounts, about halfway down the page will turn on offer, is where you turn on offers for Etsy. And that's what's made I feel like once I turned that on, my Etsy sales like skyrocketed compared to what they were. And it's not through offers either. I am getting a few offers, but like my full price sales have increased. We answered the whatnot one. Miss Barbara says FedEx delivered her eBay tape order to someone else. After a claim, I was told tough luck and lost my coupon too. So let's discuss this from a seller and a buyer viewpoint, because I had this conversation with a friend of mine the other day who his neighbors stole his package and he filed a claim on the eBay seller. So what do you say about something not coming and it was the post office or FedEx or UPS that delivered it to the wrong person? What do you say, buyer and seller side?
Well, what I do is I will, feel for the buyer. I mean, they're just looking to get an item, and either the post office or FedEx or UPS didn't deliver it. So rather than saying, "Hey, you know what? I shipped it. The tracking is clear. I'm off the hook, and good luck. You're on your own." That's really not a good way to maintain a good level of customer service. So I work with the buyer as best as I can. I explain to them, first of all, what could have possibly happened. I mean, there's a lot of situations where the item actually did get delivered, and the buyer's not being really experienced in this, don't know to look, check with your neighbors or call a clerk and see if they have something, or wait a day or so. So our first line of defense is I'll explain to them, okay, I'm going to stick with you until you find this package, or until we have to actually, make a claim. But this is the first step that you would take. Check if you live in an apartment building, check with your neighbors, or if you live in a private house, go next door and see if someone, saw something, or check with your postal carrier and go from there. Then if it doesn't, turn up in that regard, then there are various different methods in the post. I mean, I deal with just the post office, so I'm really not that familiar with UPS or FedEx. In fact, I don't use FedEx at all. And I will then say, okay, we have to wait a certain number of days before you put a claim in, and I will actually put that claim in for the buyer. I mean, we all have, you need an account with USPS to file a claim. I wouldn't expect the buyer to have an account set up, so I will, in their behalf, put in the claim with the post office, make some phone calls, and stick with them. And or everywhere along the way, letting the buyer know that it's really out of my hands. I mean, once I drop it off at the post office, then we're at the post office peril. But even so, I don't let them feel that that's where my responsibility ends. I will stay with them until they recover their package. I'll check the tracking every day. When the 14 days comes to the schedule, then we'll put in a claim, and whether or not the buyer receives their package or not, at least they know that you as a seller did everything in your power to help them out, and usually end up with a good feedback, even if the buyer doesn't receive their item.
Wow, I think you covered almost everything there, Mike.
Yeah.
Especially the apartments, because I live in apartments, and all the time it gets delivered next door or two doors down. Definitely tell the buyer to go check with your neighbors first and foremost. I will go into the post office and ask if it's still sitting in the back. Sometimes they make a mistake and it dropped under the counter or something. That has happened to me before. But if it says delivered, that's an issue. If I'm showing on my side on eBay that it's delivered, I mean, what am I supposed to do? It's out of my hands. If it got, I mean, I'm going to take my money. I mean, I don't know what else I can do.
Yeah. Anyone else experienced lost and delivered? Yeah, I ordered some stuff from Supply Hut and they lost half of my order one time. But that was just the bubble wrap. But no, seriously, when this kind of stuff happens, I've only had it happen with the post office where they've lost stuff that was sent to me or lost stuff that I had sent. But they have something where they're able to track when a package is dropped off and what exact location it is. So I would say engage with the post office, usually covered. FedEx, I don't typically deal with. I've had them change the size of my packages that I've gone over by an inch everywhere, and the same thing with the weight. I hate using FedEx. Very, very rarely will I do that. But outside of that, like they said, just provide good customer service. If it happens to you, but they're by the grace of God, go I. Just don't let it affect your day. Move on and order some more tape. My go-to tape, Code Commonwealth, contractually obligated. Sorry.
This is a touchy situation for me because I feel like we do our part to find the item. We list it. And once we ship it, it's not in our hands. It's really not. We do the best we can to ship it through who we trust as a shipping company. But you know, once you put that label on it and you let it go, I mean, they kick it, they scratch it, they punch it, they do whatever they want to do with it. And you just gotta hope that it gets there, and you got to do your shipping right and buy your stuff right. If you're buying stuff and you lose 7 packages a year that cost you, that you only made 50% on, you're gonna hurt yourself. So when you up your charges to make 4 times your money, you there's a reason for that. So it's really hard for me. I just feel like as soon as I put that label on it, every day I check if it got there more than I check what's in my account.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't check, but I am with Leroy. It is not my responsibility once I've shipped it. I am not Walmart. I am not Amazon. I do not have unlimited funds. I do not know if you got it and said you didn't and are just trying to get a refund. I don't know. So my response to my friend was, you shouldn't have opened an eBay claim. That is not the seller's fault. I told him he shouldn't have. And he told me his neighbor stole it. He knew his neighbor stole it. So you mean, you know, your neighbor stole it, but you want that seller to pay for that item?
That's crazy.
I don't think that's like, I don't think it's right. I think, no, I'm not an a-hole to my buyer. Don't take it that way. I'm not like, oh, I shipped it. Sorry. I am nice to them. I tell them, like, go to the post office, you know, ask the neighbors. I tell them all of that stuff. Sometimes too, it'll scan delivered, but it doesn't come till the next day. Sometimes 2 days. I tell them that. I had one, and it's funny because I was on chat with Amazon, said it was delivered to me. It's Amazon. They have money. I'm going to ask them if I don't get it. And they say I got it. And I spend plenty of money with Amazon. And I said, and so I'm chatting with AI, right? I'm like, I didn't get this. And it says, here's your delivery photo. And I said, son of a. So one Amazon driver, we now have Amazon drivers. USPS is no longer delivering our Amazon packages. We now have Amazon drivers, and one of them thinks this shed that I'm sitting in right now is my house that I live in it. And they delivered to the shed porch. And so when the Amazon AI popped up the delivery photo, it was on the shed porch. I'm like,
at least it was your shed. It's worse when they send you a picture that an item's delivered and it's someone else's house. I'm like, whose house is that?
But then I just closed the chat because I did have it. It was on the shed porch, but luckily they had the, like proof of delivery thing. But yeah, so for me, and it sucks because it's eBay. I feel like eBay is a big company like Amazon and, and Walmart. So because it was eBay packaging, I guarantee you that's ran by eBay. I feel like I would think they would send another one. But as a seller, like if that had been not Amazon that it said was delivered and I couldn't find it, I wouldn't go after a seller. Just being a seller myself, I wouldn't say, I know it says it was delivered to me, but I didn't get it. Just because I don't want to do it. But it's hard. You have to be nice, and I don't want to refund. Like, what if it, like my friend, like their neighbor was stealing multiple packages? So is it your fault as a seller that their neighbor's stealing their packages? Like I told him, I'm like, dude, you need a P.O. box. Like if you know your neighbor's stealing your packages, get a post office box. But yeah, and like, I don't know. I know you're in the villages. Maybe they have like a bulletin board or something, or like the neighborhood app. I've seen a lot on my word of mouth page on Facebook where they'll post a delivery photo. They're like, is this your yard? You have my package. And they find each other on there because it'll show that they're like, this is not my fence. Is this your fence? And they find each other through that. And I have brought like my neighbor's packages to them as well. We had a $300 UPS package my boyfriend signed for. Didn't know, he didn't get my $300 package. He signed for the wrong package. It was the neighbor's package. And it was a fill-in driver. And luckily the regular driver came the next day and gave us the package that he had already signed for. And we gave him back the neighbor's package. But they told us don't bring it to the neighbor, that the driver needed to be the one to get, and that was UPS, I think. Driver needed to get it and then bring it to them. All right. Wolfman's goodies, $10. He wants to hear a PG-13 dad jokes. Who's going to tell him one?
I'm
not a dad.
One.
Not a dad.
I'm a good dad. I have no joke.
PG-13 is not my territory. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know. I mean, I guess I'm bored. It has innuendo. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
What?
Probably the rooster.
Oh my gosh, that does have innuendo.
There you go.
Oh dear Lord. What? And Marsha's talking about the Bible now. I'm giving you Kevin for that one. Okay, here you go. You get Kevin. You knew Kevin was coming at some point tonight. That was a bad thing to say. Here.
Yeah.
Merman.
All right. Let's see. Now all the dad jokes are coming up in there. Okay. Question for Alex. Book question. I come across old books a lot, but some have storage staining and the old book smell. Should it deter me from buying, or is it worth posting anyways?
Depends on when you say old book smell. In my opinion, that's an amazing smell. But if it's a moldy smell, if it smells like mold, I would stay away. Unless it's a very, very rare book. There's some things you can do to get that smell out. It's staining. I mean, it just happens when you're looking at old books. Some of the books are stained, not in the best condition. You can sell let's say an 1800 Bible with the cover removed. Someone's still going to buy a Bible from the 1800s. So do not worry about condition when it comes to old collectible books. People will buy them in rough condition. There's a lot of people that like buying them and, putting the book back together, fixing the spine and the binding. But just look out for mold. You don't want to buy a whole bunch of moldy books and then put them by your nice and clean books that, smell good. So that's the only thing I would look out for is mold. But the old smell, I mean, that's the old book smell.
That's money.
Yeah.
Look, they're hitting him. What sort of books do you sell, and do you have any tips for sourcing books?
Stay away from mass market books that they publish millions and millions. Let's like take an example of Sarah J. Maas. This book has been printed millions of times, right? This one's different because it's the first original cover, so it is worth a little bit of money. I try to do 1800s if I can find vintage, rare books, any off the wall titles. So something really strange. If you're going into a thrift store, and just scan the whole bookshelf and look for the weirdest titles, those are usually the ones that are rare books that people are looking for. You know, you want to, when it comes to books, the more niche down the topic of the book, there's going to be a more desirable book. And
All right.
as far as like categories go, I would history, Bibles do great, occult books, anything like that.
I found like specialized ones, like some architecture ones were decent, and like hobbies, like scuba diving. I found a lot of scuba diving books, and I made a ton of money on those.
Yeah, and that's really niche, right? So you can find a scuba diving book, but let's say scuba diving book in, the Key West or whatever. You want the more niche
Like
down
a certain area.
better. Yeah, in a certain area.
Yeah, I think mine were like the Patty certified, like the study guides for getting Patty certified, and then like a bunch of instruction manuals. All right, it was just like, listen, this is like a string of Alex questions. Is Etsy or eBay the best place to sell vintage books? I have books from the late 1800s to 1970s. They were her parents. What's the best place to get the better prices on vintage books?
So I cross promote to Etsy. I'm just starting. I don't do it as much as I should, but Etsy is really good for books too, as far as old books go. And not just because it's an old book, it doesn't mean it's worth hundreds of dollars. But there's a lot of interior designers that go to Etsy and they will stage houses. So you can sell, cheaper books there in lots. But if they're all old, they'll buy them there. What I've noticed over on Etsy is you do not get the lowball offers. People will pay the price that you want for that book. So if it's going to sell on Etsy, more than likely you're going to get more money for that book over on Etsy. But maybe that's because I don't have offers turned on. Because that reminded me when that question came.
And you'll get more sales.
I don't think it's.
No, they will still message. People message me on Etsy with offers even before I had offers on, so I might as well just have them on.
I gotta double
I've only gotten 2 that were lower than I would accept. Most of the offers that I've gotten on Etsy have been reasonable offers. I haven't gotten low balls like I got 2, but not like eBay. Here we go again. I just purchased a large lot of books from an auction, mostly vintage. What is your process when you get a large lot of books as far as sorting, determining value, what to lot together? So like when you go do a free pickup and you have like from the estate sales, you have hundreds of books. What's your process?
Taking out all the garbage that comes with books, paperback books. I'll put all the paperbacks together, mass market books all together. I'll set that to the side because I want to get the higher dollar stuff up first. As far as my process now, AI lists easier everything. So I just run it through the program. And then once it's in AI, I do the comps, and I use eBay for sold comps, and also WorthPoint, because WorthPoint is a website. You have to pay for subscription for WorthPoint, but it will show anywhere that book has ever sold in the history of the internet on auction sites or anything. So as far as when you're trying to find out prices, I would have eBay open, also WorthPoint, and you can use Biblio, and there's a couple other websites that I look around on. But
yeah, I love WorthPoint. If you do like one-offs, like it's invaluable. This is a fun question. What is your favorite thing you have purchased, like a download or an app that has helped you with reselling, and why?
Let's see. Well, what I've been doing is I've been embracing the AI world as well lately. So I've been using ChatGPT to help me do the research and listing, and it's really, really helpful. I mean, where I found that I used to spend maybe 20, 30 minutes, sometimes at a minimum, in researching a complicated item. I just, take a couple of pictures on ChatGPT, and it spits out. Now you have to verify, of course, but it spits out more information than I've ever included in my listings in the past. And you know, I make better listings out of it. I prompt it to ask me to come up with an optimized, you know, SEO rich keyword title and all, and that's, you know, it's going to do a much better job than ever going to do. So that's the latest recent technology tool I've been using.
Yeah, for me, it would have to be List Easier, the best program I've ever downloaded. It's really changed how many items I can get up in one day, and changed my business for sure.
Yeah. Pardon me. ChatGPT, because it allows me to make the most borderline semi-offensive thumbnails without going overboard, so it kind of protects me for the podcast. And then other than that, I'm really, really optimistic with List Easier because I haven't had the dedication to do it. I can't tell you the last day that I listed 10 items in a day. And so that's the kind of level of the necessity that I need with reselling. But the convenience factor is actually turning it around. I've listed, like, you can do that in a matter of 30 minutes, a matter of 20 minutes or less. But I think I'm up to like 30 or 40 today. So the convenience factor of it all, List Easier, will probably be a game changer for those that don't have the work ethic that some of these other people have.
I don't purchase any apps. I purchase popcorn if I'm not on a weight loss challenge, but I don't purchase any apps. But I will say that Facebook's been really helping me because I can probably make an extra couple $100 a week on Facebook. That's all I got.
My internet is going
I was
wonky.
gonna say,
Can you guys hear me?
It's just cutting in
Yes,
and out.
ma'am.
Okay, it looks like it's back. I'm gonna say List Perfectly. I haven't looked into List Easier because I'm gonna assume it's doing what List Perfectly is already and has been doing for me for a year, and that's AI listings. Because we just take the photos, it creates the whole listing for us, the title, description, my hashtags for Etsy. It has price comps, and yeah, so that List Perfectly is essential to us. Not like my employee went from like 15 listings a day to 40 to 50 a day using List Perfectly's AI Express Lister. But it's not just that, it's the cross posting factor, the auto sharing, I've been obsessed with the sales and analytics tab, so I can see like which platform's bringing in which percent. It's just like that is really essential to us. And I was talking, it was Paul from my Reseller Genie, and Dusty said my Reseller Genie, by the way. I was talking to Paul, and I told, like, I would pay the $99 just for the Express Lister because it saves us hours and hours of time. Like, I'm getting more production for my employee for less money, essentially. So I would pay for it even without the cross posting and the other features that it has. It has the inventory feature that Trisha's going to come teach me soon. But I haven't, like, it has scannable inventory. It will create like printable SKUs for you. There's a lot of features I don't even know about. But yeah, I that's what it would be for me. ChatGPT locks up on me and I don't know why. So I've been using Gemini on Chrome and Google. So Gemini is my friend, and I use Canva's AI to create my thumbnails a lot. And Gemini is who makes me nice to my customers, because I can type what I want to say and then I just click Gemini and I put refine message, and it'll go read what I wrote and it'll tell me, look, you're being a little harsh. If you want to be, and it'll give me like 3 different reply options. If you want to be short and friendly, do you want to be professional? And yeah, it reads the whole page, which is nice. So I've been loving Gemini, and Nano Banana through Gemini will create images for you too. So yeah. I think Mike and Jules One Way Vintage told us about Gemini when they were on, and that's when I started using Gemini. I was using Grok. I was using Grok because Chat GPT locks up like on my phone and on my computer. My daughter's iPhone and Apple, and it doesn't lock up on her, but on my Android it was locking up all the time.
Do you pay for yours?
What, for Gemini?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, I only use free.
I do the unlimited thing, but basically I pay to make sure when it refines stuff, it
for Chat GPT or for Gemini.
Chat GPT.
See, if it was locking up just on the free, I was scared to pay for it when it wasn't like, and I mean like just on like simple stuff. The simplest stuff, it would lock up. So if I thought it would work, because Rod loved it and my daughter loved using it, but for some reason my laptop and my phone, Chat GPT just did not like, and it would freeze up all the time. Yep. Otherwise I would. Gemini, if I get to a hard stop, if I'm using it enough, I probably would pay for it. Like if it came to like, you don't have any more, you can't refine any more customer messages, I probably would. I would pay for it. Chad says, I set shipping to ground advantage and some people upgrade to priority mail, but 2 people have chosen media mail on a board game. How is that possible?
Well, you choose whatever shipping method you want. I mean, it's not right. And, so a lot of people take chances because the media mail is much cheaper, but media mail is one service where the post office has a right to open up your package. So you're always running a risk. And you know what? One thing about the post office, any infraction is a federal offense. So you're really running the risk. It's not worth it, people. I mean, pay the extra few dollars. I mean, pass it on to your customers and use the correct shipping method. And especially if something like a board game is kind of obvious, from the look of the package, people, the postal clerk is going to say, "What is this?" And they'd be more inclined to open up that package than something that at least looked like a book or looked like a media item. So I wouldn't do it. I've never done it.
Is he saying he's picking and trying, and when they pick,
saying that the buyer did it?
Yeah, I don't know how that's possible then.
So it was weird because eBay normally only lets media mail pop up in certain categories. eBay added media mail to like collectible items of mine.
Really? I have issues and I'll have a book.
I mean, no, that would be a thing, Mike. Like he couldn't, I wouldn't, even though they chose media mail, I would change it. Like I would go, everything you're saying, I think is pertinent because, but luckily I know Katie Reeds told me that a lot of media mail, depending on where it was going, was more expensive than ground advantage. So hopefully that was the case in this case. Hopefully.
I would assume with a heavier board game, it's going to be cheaper for him to do ground advantage anyways. Yeah. So, but I won't answer it anyways because Chad left the chat. So sorry, Chad.
I know he said he had to go take care of his mom. I know. I saw that.
Yeah, I don't know how that's possible though. It's weird.
Yeah, same thing here. But I don't experience. I do eBay standard shipping. I do it's flat rate, so they have no choice in it. Or I do free shipping. That's avoided anybody's input. Like frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. Like that'd be my response. Like if somebody tells me how to do business.
I try not to message Kat for every little thing that I don't know what to do in life. So I haven't asked this question, but I've always wanted to ask some of you guys, either Kat or Scott. I don't know if my settings are wrong, and I feel like how are these people picking what they want to, where they want me to ship it? Because I don't know if I have a lock or unlock on my settings, because they're like, oh, well, we want it we want it ground advantage. Well, it's not going ground advantage because it's heavier and I'm sending it FedEx and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I know that's not the question.
You should be able to add it. And I don't know how they would choose it, but I've seen that on a couple of my listings. I feel like that was an eBay glitch.
Buyer chose Ground Advantage or buyer chose UPS. So
I put Ground Advantage and Priority are the two that I put on every listing. And then I'll add local pickup. It's funny. Somebody drove 45 miles today to pick up a fishing hat for me that was $10. But he said he wanted to ride his Harley anyways. So he's like, can I come pick it up today? I want to ride my Harley. I'm like, sure. We meet people at the post office for safety reasons.
Yeah.
And we're going there anyway, so it's not out of our way. We just tell them to tell us what day, and we tell them the time. But even if they chose it, like I said, I would switch it to Ground Advantage. You're not going to ship it media mail, or you're going to risk yourself. But I don't think that you could collect more money from them if it ended up more expensive as the issue. Now, what you could do is cancel it, issue with buyer's address if it's like a big money difference on shipping, because that is one of the options for canceling is issue with buyer's address. I know, Leroy, the people that don't want like FedEx and stuff, they might have a P.O. box. Like if my P.O. box and FedEx and UPS can't deliver to a P.O. box. So I think that's the main reason people ask for like the Ground Advantage. But yeah, I put Ground Advantage and Priority. I don't ever, well, that's a lie. Some items are so big that they won't go USPS at all, and I have to do UPS and Priority. I don't know what Todd means. Can somebody decipher this for me? Book Genesis, Mike Metco, Exodus is valuable.
Got me.
I think it's Book Genius, aka Alex.
Oh, Genesis, Exodus,
I know, but
the Bible.
I know it's from the Bible. I don't know what he's referring to though, with Mike Metco in the middle.
Todd, we need an explanation.
I'll take a stab.
In the
at
beginning, there was Mike Metco, and it was good.
Right. I'll take a stab at it. There's a little bit of a running joke between Todd and myself because we are two of the senior citizens of reselling. I'm 70, and so is Todd, but I'm a few months older. So he always holds that up against me that I'm the old guy. So he might be referring to the fact that I'm old enough to be found in the book of Genesis or Exodus. If that's the case, you're right, Todd. You're right. But I don't know. That is a mysterious super chat there.
All right. I'm going to give you the original. We're going to go old school with mine too. This is my first ever super chat. Here you go. Super chat. I think that thing's like 5 years old now. That one's been around a long time. All right, let's see. Missy's saying eBay changes their expectations way too often. She's saying they lowered a price on a guitar she has listed. Are they allowed to do that?
eBay can pretty much do whatever they want to do. Let's face it. You know, their terms of service are really strange.
They're not going to change your price.
I mean, they're allowed to not show you.
There's an option, though. There's an option to let them adjust it, and I'm wondering if you accidentally turn that on. There is an option to let eBay change the price. I'm not ever putting that.
New price dropping thing they have or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if that's what it was.
I didn't know
that's the only thing I can think of, because no, they should not be able to do that.
Auto price reduction tool.
This sounds like an Amazon issue, not an eBay issue, because that's an Amazon thing. They'll just hold your thing until you change the price.
I still have stuff there 5 years later. I haven't signed into it. I'm like, they'll like charge me for disposal or something. All of a sudden, I got all these boxes of books. I'm like, oh.
I get boxes all the time. I haven't sent in boxes to Amazon in months. I close everything down.
Yeah, I was just over it. All right. Yeah. The featured question.
Naps.
How do you stay motivated to list daily? And do naps count as part of the workflow? She's asking for a friend.
Well, I'm fortunate, and I'm in a unique situation that I don't necessarily need motivation. I mean, I just do this strictly as a hobby. So if I'm in the mood, I mean, I'm pretty motivated just in general, and you know, I have a pretty good eBay store that I've established. But you know, it's like, well, the one thing that actually would motivate me to list is that, let's face it, we all know that one thing that we really have to do to assure sales in one way or another is to list. So if I want to sell items, and I love selling on eBay, and I love packing stuff up, one of my favorite features. If I don't list, I'm not going to sell. So that's my motivation. But to answer the second part of the question, yes, absolutely. Naps definitely count as a part of the workflow. Like I just referred to the fact that I'm 70 years old now, and I never used to take a nap at all, but I find that I'm taking more and more naps more frequently during the day, and I can do it. I have the latitude to do it. If I'm not under the gun, I'm not in any pressure. I don't need to sell to maintain my lifestyle. I just do it strictly on a basis where if I care to do it, I do it. So if I rather take a nap, I'll take a nap. If I want to, get up and list and work hard, I'll do that as well. I've worked hard my whole life, so now I have the leeway to kind of kick back a little bit.
I heard you can write those naps off. They count.
Yeah,
As far as how I stay motivated, this is my full-time income. I got a wife and 2 young kids. That's what keeps me motivated to get up every day and list more items, do what I have to do to support my family.
How do I say I try and hide out. It's not necessarily listing daily, but my wife's absolutely horrible. So I just hide from her upstairs, and then I definitely take naps too. Worst person you've ever met.
To keep me motivated, if I'm not on a weight loss challenge, I try to eat every 20 minutes. And as you guys seen, I've been eating a whole bucket of popcorn. I behaved the first hour. I try to eat every 20 minutes, and when I need money, I make money. I no disrespect to anybody else, but if I really need it, I really work. If I have a $600-700 sale or a weekend, my expectation goes down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like Alex. It pays my bills. I have kids. It's my full-time income, so I have to do it whether I want to do it or not. So I'm like Leroy a little bit though. Like if I wake up and there's $1,000 sale on my phone, I'm not as motivated to list that.
Oh yeah.
I made $1,000 in my sleep last night. I'll still list, but I'll probably list less. But I love naps, and I think that's one of the benefits of being a full-time reseller. I absolutely am all about the naps. And it's funny because I'll like go weeks where I'll take one every single day, and then I won't take one for weeks. But yeah, I love naps. I think
In Europe,
more productive if you take a nap. Like
in Europe
really
that they
do.
shut down at 2 to 3 o'clock every day, nap time.
Like the companies, they have those companies that have nap rooms. Like take a nap. Like yeah. Does anybody know? I wanted to put this up here in the chat or on the panel. Jay Wonder said that now for Whatnot, Marketplace and live selling show up as 2 different approvals on Whatnot. So does anybody know if you have to apply separately to static sell and live sell? So that's a good question if anybody knows the answer. Oh, we could ask Gemini. Gemini will know the answer. Maybe. I can grab this one. Mary wants to know, what is the difference between a closet and a boutique on Poshmark? I've heard that it can be difficult to delist an item that's sold on another platform, even with cross-listing. So boutique is a new item that has never been sold. So if you bought wholesale stuff that has never been available, boutique has to be new with tags and supposed to not have ever been for sale in a store is what it's supposed to be. I very rarely put items in boutique on Posh. So it would be like if somebody's a direct supplier for Simply Southern, like the makeup store here in town that I go to, she buys from Simply Southern to sell in her shop. So if she listed on Poshmark, she could list that as a boutique. As far as delisting, from what I have heard, Nifty is the only cross-listing platform that can, for some miraculous reason, delist an item that has an offer on it. And that is why there's difficulty with the cross listing, because Poshmark blocks it. If you go try and delete an item, it has an offer, Poshmark will not allow it. So I said in my video last week, the workaround is if you edit the size, like if it's a large, you change it to medium or change it to one size, publish that listing, it cancels all offers. And then you go to edit it again, and then you can delete it. And that's what I do, because List Perfectly will notify me problem delisting, and I'll go edit the size and then I delete it. Why Nifty can do it, I don't know. But they can, is what I've heard. All right, all you AI people. Any thoughts on using AI to create a model for selling baby and toddler clothes? Do you mean like a business model, or do you mean like a baby model? I just thought of that. Like it could go both ways, right?
It would be great for a business model, like writing up a business plan. AI would be great for that, but I don't know if, like you said, are you talking about?
I bet it would create a baby model too.
Maybe. I don't know.
Mike, Constance, are you still here? Tell us, do you mean a baby model or do you mean a business model?
Baby in a...
Yeah, see, Susan said she thinks it meant clothing on a baby in a photo. See, there's two ways to take this.
So
I've done the model thing on Photo Room. I quit using Photo Room. I am blacklisting them. I do not like them since they put limits to it. I use Pixel Cut now. And I can get you guys a link to that. I don't see Constance.
She did. She said baby model to wear clothes.
Oh, so LaDonna's saying AI will create the model based on a picture it finds that is publicly available. But like Photo Room has models that I think it created that I don't know if they're real people. But I didn't see any babies on Photo Room. Like I said, I quit using Photo Room because they limited how many batch edits you can do, and Pixel Cut does not do that. Oh yeah, I got you. Listen, me and Pixel Cut are friends. I really got mad at that because we've been paying yearly for Photo Room for 3 or 4 years now. And all of a sudden my employee's like, Photo Room won't work anymore. And I'm like, what? And apparently in the middle of a year, I paid for a year and my year was supposed to be unlimited. They changed it, took it away, and wanted to charge me like over $100 a month for Photo Room. And I'm like, And I researched, and Pixel Cut is the only other one that does batch edits. You can do 50 photos, remove the background. I like searched and read Reddit and found all kinds of other people that were pissed off at Photo Room until I found Pixel Cut. So I put the link for that there. So what is your thought on it as far as a baby? LaDonna's saying she be careful because she thinks AI will pull from the internet and you don't know whose baby you're putting up there. What do you guys think about that?
I specifically, I don't know really how it would play out. I really don't, baby clothes and babies and baby models is really not anywhere near my niche. But one thing I can say for AI is very versatile. And even if you really don't have any basis or any background in a particular category, a topic, or an idea, ask it a question. I mean, it's very versatile, and you'll definitely get some, and what I like about AI is that in addition to getting a direct answer to any question you pose of it, it will posit different scenarios and different ideas and open up your imagination to different, ways to handle something. So more than meets the eye when you ask AI a question. You can get a very thorough, specific answer, and then it kind of opens up. Sometimes it's too much, where it'll like really go on, and you have to say, okay, enough. But
can you be more specific? You talk to it like a person, like you tell it that, like.
Yep, sure. Yep.
I don't know, you done, Mike. I don't know what my thoughts are on that. Sometimes AI can create some ugly babies. Maybe, I don't know. Some things AI creates is kind of weird. So I don't know if it would hurt your sales or not. Or just buy a little mannequin baby might be a better way to go.
Wait, no, then you got to buy 3 to 6 months. Then you got little babies.
Get into babysitting, and then when the kid's there, it's put the clothes on the kid. And
you got a 3 to 6 month baby. I got a 6 to 9 month. I got a 9 to 12 month. Then you're like the crazy women that are just like, my baby's 43 months old. I'm like, say a year, woman. Say a year. But yeah, I put all my stuff on Chat GPT, and then I put the clothing onto a baby that's dancing from Ally McBeal just for the nostalgia. No, just clothing is clothing. It doesn't matter if it's on a baby. Just put it there with 2 rulers. I would imagine. I don't do clothing. That just sell it online. Sell it live.
Mike just said take a nap.
Yeah, you can take a nap.
Don't list it.
Baby stacked up in your closet.
I haven't used this all night, but pass.
I didn't know that AI would grab like real people's photos. I thought they'd made the people, but so here's my thing, and I occasionally do baby clothes if I find expensive brands of baby clothes. And when I say that, I think I've sold 4 baby clothes items in 5 years. So 1 item a year. I would say that most baby clothing is lower dollar, and I wouldn't take the time to use AI to put it on a baby. Like when I use AI to put like my jewelry on a person, it's like a $200 piece. So for me, I'm not putting it, even if I think it's going to sell better, if it is not, I would say $100 plus item, I wouldn't even worry about it. If it is, then you got to worry about what kind of baby you put on it. What if the person looking at it doesn't want the baby? Oh, see, LaDonna uses AI in her job. But Constance said, what if she could use her own baby picture and tell AI to make a baby, put it on her baby, like her as a baby. But personally, I don't think most baby clothes are worth taking the time to do AI is what I'm trying. I think it'd be a waste of time. All right. We have 1 question left and it's 9:57. So we're going to answer it. And we got through it all. And then I will make everybody big. I will even remember Leroy to tell you guys goodbye. Matt says, I have a supplier for recently discontinued holiday soaps, Febreze, grade plugins, etc. None of them expire anytime soon. When would you bring them back to the market to maximize profits?
Now's the time.
Would you
baby.
hold them or would you list them?
No, I would hold on. I would list them right away. I mean, there's a demand. There's a vacuum. You know, I sell. I don't really do too much with RA, but there's one item that I sell: Suave body lotions, and there's always a very small margin, 10% maybe. And all of a sudden they stopped. They discontinued the product. You know, I would buy them on Amazon. You know, for like 6 for $15, and you know, maybe double that in the listing of 2 or 3, and they were very small movers, but they've since discontinued to production of them, and I can't believe how many I've sold in the last month. I mean, I sold off all my inventory. I wish I had more. So whether it's a HBA good or a soap or whatever, I think the defining principle is that whenever there's a need, whenever there's a hole in supply, and you have and there's still a demand, I would get it out there. I wouldn't wait. Right? What are you going to wait for?
Well, yeah, holiday stuff sells year round too, so they'll probably sell now. If depending on what holiday, if it's Christmas and you don't need the money right now, you can hold on to them and post them. I don't in October or something. They'll probably sell. depending on looking at the market, how much more is it going to be? You're only going to make an extra $5 if you hold until Christmas time. Then it's probably not worth the time holding on to them. If you're going to make another $20, then I would hold on to them. You have to look at the market and make that decision.
Yeah. So for me, wow, 3 cents each. They're getting 3 cents each. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. For holiday, I'll tell you what I do. You're going to have multi-quantity, so you're going to have competition. There's going to be people that are there to undercut you. Just expect for them to do that. So I'd get them up right away, let them do that. Somebody's going to plan for something like this. Somebody may have a search saved. So have that there, but be willing to check monthly as a holiday comes up to see if you need to adjust your price. Sometimes shifting it like 25 cents will be the price that puts you in the lead as far as competition. Leroy?
If it was holiday popcorn, then I would make sure that I would eat it quickly. But anything else to do with holiday stuff, I have nothing to do with.
Yeah, for me, I'm like this with anything. I'm not about holding on to stuff because you don't know if the price is going to go up or down. Like somebody might have just had like those holiday soaps and they love them, so they want them now. And there might be a better one that comes out next year. If you've done it before, though, I don't know. Because the thing is, you never know which ones are going to be the popular ones and which ones are going to increase. So do you want to hold all this inventory and then only one of, say, 10 are, more valuable than they would have been if you listed them right away? Yeah, what sucks is there's no way to know. But if they're discontinued, I would think you would see the prices start to jump pretty quickly, but I don't do a lot with that stuff. And I'm not one to like the only thing I would pay if it was discontinued is my lipstick I'm wearing now. I would be one of those crazy people paying a ridiculous price because I have one that I absolutely love. I'm going to put this up because Diane forgot to put it. Alex, real quick, can you, is there a way of to get rid of the musty smell?
You could put them outside, just let them air out. If it's a nice day, that will help a little bit. Dryer sheets will help, but then the books might smell like dryer sheets. There is equipment that you can buy. I don't know what they're called exactly, so I don't deal with that. But there is actually H2. I don't know what the equipment's called.
Ozone machines.
And one of those.
I have ozone machines. They're pretty cheap on Amazon.
Really?
But the ozone self smells. Like it's not a great smell itself. I used it for my rental house because it just smelled horrible, and I prefer the ozone smell to that. But I think people would notice, like you would almost need to ozone and then air it outside on top of that. And ozone is poisonous, so you have to have it closed off and like stuff towels under the room that you're doing, or evacuate the house while you're doing it.
Yeah, I know a bookseller that does that, but he puts them in a tub and seals it for like an hour with that machine, and then airs it out and does another hour. Yeah.
Yeah. We had to do the house like 3 times. I still have them. I don't foresee myself using them. If you want to buy one, tell me. I'll sell you one cheap. I have 2 of them. Because I don't think I've never used them since I did that house, and I bought 2 so I could do the whole house. But all right. Let's make everybody big and tell you again where they can be found and if they have anything going on. And so here is Mike.
Okay, again, my station, my channel is Mike Metco Meetups, and people have been saying like, what's going on? We haven't seen you lately on the internet on YouTube, and that's because pretty much my channel is meetup driven, and in the hiatus in the winter, there really wasn't much going on, but the meetups are starting to heat up. So I've already scheduled a number of different interviews. One of the things that my channel does before a meetup, we always get together with the host organizers and we kind of like just talk a little bit about what the meetup's all about. So toward that end, I am, Mary and I will be interviewing Grams and Pops Vintage next week. along with John and Christiana, Reseller, Resell Rabbit, who are hosting the Planes to Profit meetup in March. And then we will be interviewing Ray Nashville Flipper, as I did last year, for that meetup. I'm also meeting up with John Cincinnati Picker and doing a little pre-reseller rally interview with him coming up also this month. And then also I saw Jimmy. I don't know if he's still in the chat. I saw Jimmy Old School Flips in the chat earlier, and I'm in negotiation with him. He had mentioned in their Buy It All podcast a couple of weeks ago that they wanted to maybe get together at the Highway 40 sale on Memorial Day. So I said, why don't we make a meetup? So we're going to get together and maybe make a meetup somewhere on the East Coast for that sale. So more to follow. Just stay posted on my channel. And like I said, it's pretty much just a information gathering site for anything involving meetups. So if you have any questions or any information you want to share, just get in touch with Miriam or myself. You can get a hold of us on our Facebook or Instagram page, Mike Metco Meetups, and just subscribe if you like, so you can be notified of any activities that may be coming up. And you'll see us much more prominently coming up in the near future. So thanks for that, and thanks, Kat, for having us on your show tonight. I always enjoy coming here.
And the primetime treasure hunter. I love Dom.
Yeah,
and Daisy.
I
Daisy.
If I could just make a plug for Dominic, one of my favorite content providers, one of the first, and actually that's how I came across Kat. I first discovered Kat when she was on his going back to the old thrift battles and all. And Dominic Dominic just posted a video a couple of days ago, and he says the secret's out. He's opening up to like his why he's been delinquent in content lately, and he's back. He's going to start doing estate sale videos and all the other videos. And for those of you who know Dom, you can appreciate what I have to say. Just a great guy, great content provider, very funny, very smart guy. So check out that video, and he'll explain why he's been a little bit dormant in the last couple of years.
Yeah, he's a great guy. You guys check him out. All right, here is Alex.
Yeah, first off, I want to thank you, Kat, for allowing me to come back on the show. It's a great show as always. And you can find me, Beard King Picker, on YouTube. Just dropped a brand new video yesterday, so go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate that. And also give me a follow over on Instagram, Beard King Picker. If you have any questions about books, just direct message me, and I'm happy to help where I can. So I love talking about books and helping anyone that wants to know more about reselling books.
Perfect. Here's Mike.
All right, so
taking a nap.
What's up?
I said you were taking a nap.
Oh, all right. So yeah, everybody, thank y'all very much, Kat, for having me on again. Thank you for everybody on the panel, and more so to everybody in the chat. Please feel free to check me out over on Reseller Leftovers podcast. Every Wednesday morning, we come out with a new episode, and it's kind of a break for resellers. We dive a little bit into reselling, but really talk about current events sometimes. And yeah, it gets a little crazy, but it's fun. We all need a break from reselling, and hopefully y'all can show us a little support. Like I said, we're 106 away from getting monetized. I promised the other guys, Kat can get us to over 900. So please, Reseller Leftovers podcast. And in the event, anything that you heard from Kevin, Dave, or Carrie about me is a lie. It's really true, but I'm going to say it's a lie. That's it. Thank you.
Perfect. Here's Leroy.
What's going on, guys? I thank Kat again for letting me come on. I probably come on about 4 times a year. I feel like I do have knowledge to share, and I'm actually excited that I'm switching over to actually giving my secrets, and the thing that I really love is a flea market. So I hope a couple of you guys go over and support me on Facebook on Flea Market Stacker. And thanks, Kat, very much. And always prayers for Sonny and his family.
Yeah, for sure. Prayers for baby Mateo. Tomorrow is the final salt and pepper shaker show. And I will tell you guys, I want to get rid of all of them. So at the end, because it's the last one, I'm going to do like 3 pair for $3. I want them gone. I want every single one to be sold. So, come over to that. That's going to be at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Also, again, we are a little over halfway. Dalton's raising money for the American Heart Association, the kids portion of it, for the school and the class. So I pinned the link to the top. Marsha shared it a few times. We have till Sunday. So we have, I think, 4 more days to do that. Tomorrow, a what sold video. Friday, high dollar what sold. And then Sunday, a research video on brooches is what I have coming up. And next week, Picker Road, Will and Harleen, it will be their first time on with us. And then Mother Tucker's Antiques is also going to be on with us. So it should be a fun show next week. Sunny should be back with us next week. And hopefully all is going well and heading in the right direction for baby Mateo. To Mike and Alex and Leroy, that's a mouthful. Thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it. I survived the unsymmetrical. And I think in the squares, it's better. It's like a little more symmetrical like this in the squares. So thank you guys in the chat. We couldn't have the show without you guys, and we appreciate you coming. And we will see you guys all next week. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.